Welcome back to Sense and Senseless. This is episode 2. I'm Brian.
And I'm Jason.
He's Jason.
And today we're going to dive into some big questions about society, politics, and the future of our country, from Gotham-like cities to accountability and government spending. So let's break it down, Brian. So what do you want to start with? We'll start with our music.
Live from Kentucky and Louisiana, two Marines, one mission. This is Sense and Senseless. From the hills to the bayou, stories collide. Brothers in ours, now we're side by side. Sense and Senseless, we cut through the noise. Two Southern Marines with that rebel voice. Grab a seat, pour a drink, let's make some sense. Or none at all, it just depends. Sense and Senseless.
Well, hello. Welcome back. So let's talk about Gotham scenario. Is New York City turning into Gotham? I mean, think about it. The business leaders leave. Who fills the gap? Criminals? Freeloaders? I mean, is this how we get to Gotham? What about
Well, I don't know. I mean, I almost put, or I was hoping I had a Batman mask to put on for this.
I'm Batman?
Robin, get there.
Well, I mean, how do we get to
Oh.
where maybe Mondami wins? I mean, you were just talking about a video of he won and now he's asking for more money. I mean, so how did he win? Hold on,
Yeah, so yeah. Are you going
Let's
to play
roll
the
that
video?
Let's play that
Yeah,
video.
let's roll the video, and then we'll talk about that.
On January 1st, I will be your mayor. New Year's Day, and a new era for this city. Oh, and one more thing. Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again. This transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure that can meet this moment. And it will be made possible by the people who built and believe in this movement. So I hope you'll make a donation.
Why does it keep cutting
Yep,
off?
that's all we got. That's all I got. I got 21 seconds.
Oh,
So he's
okay.
asking for more donations.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Well, yeah, free isn't free. Oh, shit.
Well, it's just a donation. He's not asking for tax money. He's asking for donations.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
come on now.
isn't tax like a involuntary donation? I
Well,
mean,
maybe
he's
he's
asking for
asking-
that on top of that. Ooh. Do I go here or not? It's kind of like at church when they ask you to pay your 10%. That's like a lot of like Catholics or Protestant or whatever, you pay your
Oh, your
offering
tithes.
when you go to church,
Your
your
tithes.
tithes. Yeah, tithes and offering. And then they turn around and the 10% maybe not cutting it, and there's other expenditures, so then they ask for more. So I mean, I understand it in the church sense sometimes, but the American people or New Yorkers, this dude was voted in because he's promising a bunch of free stuff. And that's all
Well, he is
people
if
are
you
hearing.
donate more money to him.
Yeah. I mean, somebody has,
Yeah.
I don't understand why people can't understand free does not mean free.
It means free to them, and they're happy with that.
Yeah, but
yeah,
the
somebody's
money's going
paying
to come
for it
from
somewhere.
Brian. Yeah.
Oh, I agree. I'm not arguing that. It's coming from you.
Yeah.
You're going to pay them.
Yes. So the only
why-
way to
why-
get out of
why
paying
don't you wanna
anything is
pay
not
'em,
have any money.
Well, no, you
Because
didn't.
I don't wanna-
You're donating. You're donating your money, and you get
Yeah,
tax
you're
write-offs if
donating.
you're donating it.
McDonald's said I can have that 4 breakfast burrito meal or whatever the crap I order sometimes for free as long as I donate $13.02, right?
That's right. As long as you donate to $13.02, you get. That's sad that
That's
you know
what
exactly what it costs.
well, because I use the app all the time. Yeah, fat people know what their food costs, Brian. But that's what I'm getting at. I mean, we can look at that all the time. Walmart, when I go grocery shopping, they're giving me free food as long as I donate whatever the money is on the way out, right?
I guess that's if
I
you
mean,
look at it that way. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's
Or is he looking at it this way? If he calls it donations, right, and
right.
it's not taxes, maybe he can keep his
Donation.
high end people in New York City, and they don't move out. So, I mean, if they move out,
Right.
then the city collapses. We get to Gotham, like we were trying to talk about in the beginning. But if he doesn't have to raise taxes because they all donate, maybe he keeps them. Maybe that's his ploy. He gets all the rich people to donate money to him, so they don't have to pay taxes, and he keeps his rich people in there, and we don't get Gotham.
Well, I mean, that's the deal is, I mean, he's making TikToks. I mean, if you're trying to get rich people to donate money, why would you put that on a TikTok? I'm telling billionaires and millionaires aren't watching TikTok. They're not.
You sure? You sure they're not watching TikTok? You sure
Well,
they're
I
not
mean,
getting
there's
their
some,
business advice off of TikTok?
yeah, dude, our whole business scheme is based off of TikTok. So, our
Well,
SOP,
all right.
like we called it in the Marines standard operating
So,
procedure, I got that off TikTok, off a trend. Go ahead.
so they're saying that this guy is basically a communist, right? And he's going to give
Yeah.
everything to everyone. Everybody's going to get everything for free, right?
Yes.
But yet he's against, really, from what I understand, law and order for one thing, and
Yeah.
there's no other telling. So I mean, yes, I can see New York. And where did you think when they were writing for the city Gotham? Where do you think they got their inspiration from? Do you think it was any other place than New York City? A dark New
No, I
York
think,
City?
yeah, because it looks like it. Like when you
Yeah.
watch Batman, yeah, the Gotham looks like New York City. It looks like like during a age of no sun. Like you hardly ever see a sunny Gotham. It's always
Yeah.
gloomy and raining but
You think the rich people and all that made Gotham or made Gotham come to life didn't envision seeing this one day?
I don't know, man.
Is Mondani the Penguin or the Joker?
Yeah, but if we go back and look that that a big deal was of this was, did we go back to when Biden was in the administration and the borders were wide, even Canada. We ain't talking about Mexicans or Hispanics coming through the borders. We're talking like they were saying Arabics, like Muslims and from Middle Eastern men, like 20 young men, like 20-year-olds and whatever, flooding in through our borders, like through Canada and all that stuff. So that's what concerns me. I mean, Hispanics been coming over here for a while, Cubans and up through Florida and different regions coming in, trying to get over here and make a living to send back to their families, right? Because they can make more money here doing work we don't want to do. We can get into that argument later, right? Because we want to complain about that, and I'm totally on board with come over here the right way.
Well,
right?
yeah.
Just like me going to some other country, and we've already talked about, I think we talked about this last week. Come over here the right way, and I'm fine. But we got flooded with a bunch of other not denominations and ethnic groups or whatever coming over here, Brian, that it almost seems like to me that's how this was won.
When you look at the data, it shows that majority of the people, whenever you look at foreigners, I mean, they're a big portion of why most of the people of the U.S.
Dearborn,
citizenship.
Michigan. You think that's American Muslims over there doing that?
No, I
They
mean,
took over that town.
I didn't see a whole lot about it. I've seen enough to understand what you're talking about, but yeah, no, I mean, there's you're American. You're not American Muslim. You're not African American. You're not Spanish American. You're American. If you assimilate to be an American, you're a fucking American. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
know, but Muslim is a religion, though. It's a religion. So that's what I'm
Right.
saying. There, you got Islamic, you got Islamics, and then you have Americans like white, black that have converted over to Muslim. But
but
I'm
that
being
has
told
nothing to
it's
do with your
Islam.
nationality, is what I'm getting at.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I understand that, but what I'm getting at is I guarantee Dearborn, Michigan is if you went over there and all the how that city blew up into Muslim, if you went and looked at the majority of the people over there, I guarantee they're not over here legally.
Oh no, yeah, I agree with that portion. Yeah, no doubt. And
And I think
I
this was from the 4 years before Trump was all these guys or people were flooding in, and they're taking they're they're planting, they're getting their hooks in. I'm just
and
saying, and now they're
prior to first Trump administration.
yes.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Obama, same thing. Open borders. I mean, not policing that stuff up and letting people in because you give them all this stuff and they're voting for you. Who's to say, Brian, that Democrats lost the regular poor people that they always said that they were going to take care of and give them better medical and better housing and all this stuff? These people, they even came out when Trump won the first time and said, we're sick and tired of being told you're going to do this and you don't. You do it enough to get elected, and as soon as you get in there, you don't do nothing for us. They, it was all over the internet, all over social media. You guys are just using us for our vote.
Well,
You
yeah,
remember that, right?
that's why they had to bring in a whole new
All
slew of
these
voters.
illegal aliens to take the vote back over. So,
Well, let me ask you this: let's stay back
okay,
in New York. All right,
okay,
Sliwa stayed in this race. I mean, really for no
yep,
reason. There was no chance in hell that he could win. I mean, not a
right.
chance in hell.
That's
And
that
then
dude that looked
Cuomo,
like a crime boss, right?
that's the dude that wore the beret.
Yeah, the beret. Yeah, yeah. Looked
Yeah.
like he was gonna. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I seen him.
So if he, how I say this, if he has no chance in hell of winning, and he
Right.
loves New York City,
Right.
and Cuomo has a chance, and Sliwa can be the deciding votes. If he loves the city, Cuomo loves the city. Why they couldn't join up together and make some kind of pact and say, "Hey, look, we don't want Mondomny, or to win. We know he's a socialist, a communist. We want what's best for the
Right.
city, even though we don't agree. Let's come together."
Right.
And then Sliwa not run, and then give Cuomo a chance. Well, why wouldn't he do that?
Well, I mean, one or two things, and it could be a little bit of both. I mean, like we were talking about earlier in our little pre thing. I'm tired of the parties, man. I really am, because it's like you said, three people running. Somebody's taken away from somebody, right? So I didn't know Como, and I needed to be a little bit more up to this or whatever. I always thought he was Democrat, which he was for the longest time, right? He worked, if I ain't mistaken, he worked or was on CNN also. So,
No, that
and
that
then
was his brother. So this
his
Cuomo, he was
brother,
the governor. Yeah, this Cuomo
yeah,
was the governor of New York.
governor or mayor.
He was the governor of New York.
Oh,
And
governor. Now he ran for
he's
mayor
running.
for
He's running for
okay,
mayor of New York City. Yep.
yeah. So my point is money. Like you said, somebody could have paid money, or they just played into that, knowing that the Republican wasn't going to back down out of pride.
But I don't care what party you are. Just talking about Sliwa. If
Yeah.
you know you can't win, all right. I mean, if
Right.
all the polls show that you can't get more than 10%, there's no chance in hell you're going to win. If you know you
Right.
can't win and you care about New York City,
Right.
why do you run? If you know that you can work out some, or if you, and Cuomo might not even been up for it, but why they couldn't find a way to compromise and say, hey, look, this is what we're going to get done to save New York City? Why did they have to fight that? That is just stupid. If you believe, I kind of like want to say about Trump. I mean, if you believe Trump's Hitler and you put National Guard in major cities, then yes, he looks like
Right.
Hitler. If you believe
Right.
Mondami is communist, it's the same mentality. You got to get rid of
Yeah.
them. You know,
Yeah.
if
You got to come together in order to defeat. Like, you both share a common enemy.
yeah, and you believe
It,
that enemy is going to be a communist leader, so you have to come
right.
together and get rid of him.
Right.
I mean, it just makes sense. It does not make any sense for two people to run for the city, to be mayor of a city that they cherish, you know, and they think the guy they're running against is the devil, and they don't join
Right.
forces to beat the devil. That is just
Right.
stupid.
Right. Well, that's you bring church back into that too. That's why you see like 20 churches right in a row because they can't get along. And that's what
Yeah,
I'm getting at is
yeah,
they all trying to believe the same thing and go after Satan, right? But they can't do it together because of some stupid little bit here and there, right? Difference of opinions. But yeah,
yeah.
I don't.
It makes
Yeah,
no
you're
sense.
totally right because Sweelet took votes away that Como could have had.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, I mean, people can, argue back and forth the numbers. If Cuomo would have had Sweeler's numbers, he would have still lost to Mandami. And yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
but
looking
like
at
we
those
said, a
numbers,
lot of
I
people
agree.
didn't vote.
Exactly. I believe a lot of people didn't vote because they didn't think that either one of them had a chance. So why waste your time going vote? I mean, that could be the mentality of a lot of people. And if
Yeah,
could that mentality of people not going vote change the outcome should have those two got together?
yeah,
It's quite
I
possible. I
think so.
mean, we can play this in multiple scenarios, but that doesn't make any sense other than the fact that he got paid off, or he's just stupid, or doesn't care about New York City and why, they didn't join forces. It don't make any sense.
And don't you think to the voter that would have raised eyebrows seeing them two join forces? Like, ooh, man,
Yeah,
maybe
I
I
mean,
need to relook at this dude because these two guys are joining forces because they're that nervous. Not nervous about losing. They're nervous what this dude's going to do to our
what
city.
is do that to our city, and that's the thing. If you felt that that was your city, you would want to do the best you could to make sure that
Yeah,
city
you
would
have
thrive.
Brian, you got a voice. Like we were talking earlier, I didn't vote for the longest time, and don't I hope nobody gets on here and calls me like,
It don't matter
why?
what they
How
call you.
dare you? Kentucky doesn't swing a vote for the president, never has.
Y'all
Kentucky's electoral
swing though,
votes. Yeah, we
just a
swing,
swing,
but
yeah,
just a swinging, yeah, with your cousin. Um,
and not my
but
cousin.
yeah, not your cousin. But anyways, um, I didn't vote because it didn't matter. Now, I believe in the electoral system because if not, California and New York and all these big states, right, with a lot of population
Yep.
would control the vote. So I do believe an electoral is the best way to have it. And I don't understand why, well, like our podcast says, sense and senseless, trying to make sense of why the most populated areas don't make the best decisions. And that's not according to me. Go back and look where your state is or whatever, and now New York. I mean, I understand it's the melting pot of the United States. That's where everybody, all the immigrant ships came into back in the early years, right? All the Irish and all this stuff was, what was it? San Francisco over in California and New York. But New York was the big one. And that's why the Statue of Liberty's sitting there and everybody looks for it when they come to our country because I want liberty, right? So, but now, like you said, they're headed towards Gotham. And right there, a political mishap of
Yeah.
two guys that couldn't come together, knowing that they were going to get beat apart from each other. And if you loved your city so dang much, you're wearing a beret on your campaign, right? And you're doing it on your final speech saying, I know we lost, but we're still going to love this city and we're still going to try to do what we said you're not going to get to do what you said you're going to do if the other dude won.
You saying a lot of things, but you're not doing a goddamn thing. And that's the
Yeah.
fucking problem with all this politics. And then this guy's going to come in and he's going to raise all these taxes, and they're going to run all these businesses out. This is from what, other people are saying. I don't fucking know exactly what's going on. I don't live over there.
Right.
But, he'll run all these businesses out and, you'll have more scum move in. And there's a good chance it could turn into a Gotham-like city, but to answer your question, like, you saying these big cities making bad decisions, and from the outside looking in, yes, they're making illogical decisions. It makes no sense in the decisions that they make and the choices that they make. Having said that, if you're inside that bubble, you're probably making the perfect decision because that's what you deal with. You seeing those same people every day. You know what I'm getting at? It's the different
Yeah, I
bubbles
know.
than what we live in. And I agree with you that they're making dumb decisions, but that doesn't mean that they know that they're making dumb decisions. One of the problems I have, is the taxes, this guy wants to bring in. And you constantly hearing politicians say, hey, look, man, not like that. They're saying, we need to raise taxes on the rich and we need to raise taxes on this. And this is and they're going to tax their way out of everything. But they never tell you where the hell exactly they're spending all that money. I don't, and maybe they post it somewhere. And maybe I'm just too lazy to go look at it one way or the other, however you look at it. But I've never seen any politician come out and lay out a piece of paper and say, hey, look, we spent money on this, 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 and this, and this. First, they don't want you to know what the hell they spent money on. But you would
Yeah,
think
like
that as a politician, they can come out and say, hey, look what I've done this. I've done this.
Yes.
I've done this. But they don't. They just want more money.
Like,
they just want more money.
Like, be transparent about your audit. Like, have an audit every year. I'm gonna vote. I'd keep voting for a guy that does a transparent audit that's truthful and admits, even if, hey, sorry, last year I spent over $1 million in some blow and some hookers.
Yeah.
Well, at least he was honest.
you might not have a job again, but at least you're honest.
Yeah. But nobody, like you said, yeah, we spent $1 million on toilet seats at Grand Central State. Like, no, you didn't. Where did that go? I'm gonna do when Doge, not to get off subject, but just to bring Doge into this. Like Doge can be like in communities too, right? To the lower level of somebody that comes in and digs through the books and finds out where all the money's gone and lets the public know. It tells me whether or not I'm going to keep voting this person in or not, right?
Yeah.
If they're mishandling my money, my tax money, that's not a donation. That's something that you're taking out of my check, whether I want it or not.
It's a donation. They're asking for a donation.
Yeah, they're
that you got to
donation.
involuntarily pay, but it's a donation.
Yeah, well, I don't have a say in it, so if I don't, they come after you, right?
There's a lot of things you don't have a say in, but you got to do it.
My point is yeah, there's no accountability for the money, like you were getting at, and I'm. That's what the problem is, because this dude's already asking for money.
Yeah, and how can you keep taking money from the taxpayer, right? You constantly taking money and you constantly wasting money, but then you want more money. And so it's like we don't have a money problem. We got a spending problem. So fix your fucking spending and you'll ask me for less money. Whether you're asking for donations, you're taking it out of my damn check. Fix the way you spend money. We give you X amount of money. Make a fucking budget with it. Just make the budget. Well, we're not asking you to do a whole lot. Just make a fucking budget with the money we gave you. We're not asking you to work for it. Just do a little,
Well, here's another one. I need to, every time I see these weird videos, I need to send them so we can put it on here. And I promise it's not from that kind of weird. So please, somebody don't be like, I don't want to see what
got a fleshlight.
Yeah, a fleshlight with a donkey. But it was somebody saying that if we were smarter, we would be fine with having our taxes jacked up to $2,000 a year per paying person to pay for free medical care than paying $4,000 or whatever a year in premiums. They're trying to make sense that if they increased our taxes, every working person by $2,000 across the United States for people that work, right? From me, you on up, that it would pay for the free medical care versus whatever you pay a month in premiums to have, and your copays and all. If you add all that up, it's like 4,000 a year that you would probably be out of. And I'm like,
It,
mm,
no,
but I don't want the government controlling my stuff, man. You see what I'm saying? Because
but
ask Canada how that crap's going.
but are they lying? I mean, I don't think they're lying. I just think they're telling half truth. Yes, you
Who,
could probably
Canada?
do that. No, I'm talking about the U.S.
Oh,
So whenever they're saying, they can put this plan in with the extra $2,000, yes, they could probably put that plan in. Would you get the same kind of care? Would your care be
that's
the
what I'm
same?
saying. That's
Yeah.
what I'm getting at.
So that's what I'm
Ask
getting. Yes,
Canada
that
how that
too.
government run. Yeah.
What they're not
Ask,
telling you, they're not lying to you. They're just telling you a half truth. That's how
yeah.
they play now. They don't. I'm not lying. I mean, it will go down. Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like the difference. You actually buying something on Amazon and buying it on Temu. We'll be going down to Temu insurance.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
you still got insurance. You still
Yeah.
covered. Yeah.
Well, or Brian, you know that $600 truck payment you got? Well, you can lower it down to 200 by buying this piece of crap. It's still a
Yeah,
truck.
it's still a
It's
truck.
got wheels on it. It probably ain't going to get you far, but it's still a truck.
Yeah, and
And
that's
that's
how they
people's
get people.
logic. That's
Yeah,
people's logic. They're like, hold up. I can save $2,000. The government takes care of it, and I don't have to deal. Because a lot of people don't want to deal with nothing, Brian. When we have benefits, open enrollment, which we just had last week, I don't fool with that. I set my computer up, log on, tell my wife my password, and I go lay down and go to bed. And she gets on there and does that. I don't want to fool with it. I don't know what we need.
that's because you're abusive.
I'm abusive. Yeah, I know. Woman, get in there and make me a sandwich and sign
You
up our
will
health
do
care.
my open enrollment.
Well, enrollment. Yeah. And I'm going to take credit for it. Yeah, I did
That's
it.
right. That's right. I did that.
I did that. Yeah, but I just don't like, she makes my doctor's appointment. Heck, she had to go to the doctor with me. I'm 50 years old because she was afraid I was going to lie to her when I got home about my blood sugar. I probably would
Did you
have
lie?
because
Did you
no,
lie?
but I may, I don't lie. I just withhold telling her stuff.
You tell half truths,
Yeah.
just
Well,
like the
yeah.
government. See, just like the government.
Yeah. I mean, I've been trained by the government to tell half truths.
So,
But
and
anyways,
look,
yeah. So back, yeah, I think they mishandled this whole thing, man. I think he's in there. Good luck, New York. I hope other areas that have this coming up learn. Maybe these other people, somebody will catch our podcast and join forces. I mean, if every country would have went by themselves against Germany back in World War II, everybody would have lost. You have to join forces.
you got
Whether
to
you
join
agree with
forces.
somebody or not, you got to join forces. But
If you're going to take out evil, you got to join forces. Hell,
I mean,
they Optimus Prime didn't win every battle. Optimus
no,
Prime even needed help.
yeah, he had to
Megatron.
have his Megatron.
You might not have been a Megatron fan, but he was a bad son of a bitch.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
But he was.
He always kicked
Yeah, he
Optimus
was.
Prime's ass.
Yeah, he did. But Optimus Prime had buddies
Optimus
that came
Prime,
up and helped out.
he was the Rocky of Transformers.
Yeah, yeah, he got his butt beat. Yeah, Adrian. But
All right, so
that's
something
like
else I want to go ahead. I give it to you.
no,
What you
no.
got?
You were talking about this money leaving the country. I meant
Yeah, well, so go there. I mean, so we look at all the tax money you pay, right? And then they
yeah,
constantly taking more, and they want more and more and more, and they're wasting all your money. And then I start
right.
looking, okay, so how much money are we actually just sending out this country that's just leaving the economy and not coming back? So if you look at
Mm-hmm.
the U.S. money that just goes out of the economy based off of like illegal shipping, money home or whatnot to support their people.
Right.
If there's got 5 million undocumented immigrants, this is just hypothetical, and these
Okay.
immigrants send $20,000 home each year, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be on average $100 billion annually. Now, this sounds
Mm-hmm.
extreme, right? But it ain't far off from everything that I looked at. So it says
No,
estimates
the
that I've
20,000
looked
ain't
on.
much
Yeah, well, the estimates show that
per person.
between,
Yeah.
but yeah, 20,000 per person, not much. Now they play it down, say they don't make this much money, but regardless, they said it's like a few $1,000 or $100 or whatever it is, But if it is that low, and the estimates show that is 80 to $200 billion are sent abroad yearly, then we got a lot more illegals in this goddamn country than we thought we had. So the 20,000 at 10 million sounds a lot better. So I mean, this doesn't help any of the U.S. businesses, local businesses generate local tax revenue for their areas. So your local area in Kentucky and my local area in Louisiana, that money's gone now, so it doesn't get
Yeah.
put back.
It doesn't get
But
put
they
back in the community. Yeah.
no, but they play it off and say, but the illegal immigrants are still adding trillions to the U.S. GDP, so it's not affecting anything. How's that not affecting
No,
anything?
it is, Brian, because what's the whole point of a stimulus check when they would give those?
To stimulate the
It's to
economy so you can
stimulate the
go spend it
economy.
right.
Yeah, because we're all poor. When we get that money, we're like tax time, right? Like you remember tax time back in the day?
Oh,
Like, heck
hell
yeah,
yeah,
honey.
what?
We going to
I
Red
get
Lobster tonight, and
I
we're
get
gonna
2
go get
tires
that.
for the truck.
Yeah, we're gonna get that stereo system, that surround sound. I'm gonna get that 90-inch TV. Dude,
All
we're
on
fools.
$1,000.
Yeah, I don't remember a time we ever saved a tax return. I
No.
mean, we went and blew that crap was blown before we even got it. I mean, we look like kids with the JCPenney catalog before Christmas. You were sitting there circling your stuff. So
Yep.
yes,
Before you
the
started
whole
putting in the
point.
Amazon cart, boy, you had the
Yeah,
JCPenney and the Sears
you
catalogs
think
just
the
flipping
government's
through.
stupid giving us that money? No, they know we're not going to put it in a bank and invest it.
That's right. We're going
We're
to
going to
spend it.
spend it, and it blows the economy up. It boosts it. But then you got all these illegal immigrants over here. Brian, they're disciplined people. I don't care what anybody says. Them
You're
dudes are
right.
disciplined. The Hajis that run the Patels, that run the gas stations and stuff around me, you go in there 7 days a week and see the same dude every day.
Yep, probably
They
sleep
don't
there.
take days off. They don't take days off. That's that's how wealthy people make money. Come to find out, Patel ain't their last name. It's where they're from.
Oh,
Because
gotcha.
I was
I
like,
didn't know
man,
this.
these dudes are all over the place, man. Like this dude's a Patel, this guy over here's a Patel. But yeah, I just thought that was one big old family. But
So,
yeah, they're taking that money though, Brian, and they're putting it in their economy.
but you know how they make it sound better in all the reports I read? Well, it was the articles to the reports and everything that I read. It made it sound better because if they were giving it back to their economies in their own countries, they were helping these poor economies grow. And they were talking about how much money that the U.S. puts in these economies by these people sending their money out of our economies. And I'm like, how do you justify that? I mean, that just makes no damn sense to me. So you saying it's fine to take 80 to $200 billion just out of our economy and send it across the world to people to help support their economy from people working it. I mean, yes, do whatever you want with your money, you know, but in my opinion, that's just not the right way to treat the country that you surviving on. I mean, you came here to live a better life. I get that. Invest into this country.
Yeah.
You no longer live in that other country, whether you're here illegal or not. You no longer live in that other country. You live here. Now, so we have the 80 to 100, 200 billion. That was the estimates
Okay.
that I found on the internet. And then that's
Okay.
not in factoring in illegal activity like the cartels. So the cartels
Yeah.
are bringing in another 18.39 billion per year directly. And that doesn't factor in the indirect cost of schools, roads, social sectors. And one estimate puts the economic cost with the cartels at $200 billion annually. And that's just drug related. That's not the other crimes. I mean, human trafficking alone is estimated at $13 billion in 2022. $13
Yeah.
billion in human trafficking. And what's sad about human trafficking, like if they're using them as sex, they're not selling them. They're just selling a service. So, I
Yes.
mean, they're making $13 billion on these ladies or girls, or these little kids. I mean, that's just
Mm-hmm.
sick, you know.
It is. And
And
see,
more
that's
money
just
leaving.
that. Yeah, we don't need to like shy away from talking about the bad things, but that's one where there's no like. My mind came about this comedian talking about Indecent Proposal. That's where that movie where Robert Redford starred in. He was the millionaire, and he offered who was it?
Yeah, Julia
Woody
Roberts.
Harrelson and yeah, $1
No,
million to sleep.
With Demi Moore.
Demi
Right?
Moore and
Yeah.
because they were trying to play gambling or whatever to make some money. They were in bad debt, and he offered $1 million to sleep with her. And this comedian came out right after that movie and said, "You know, I looked at my wife and I said, ain't no way some guy's going to offer $1 million to sleep with you, but I might be able to make $100 X amount of time and make $1 million bucks, right? Like
Yeah.
pimping her out, like, and that's what that is. Like, that's revenue. That's like, what do you call that? Like, it just keeps making money because you're not selling that person, you're renting that person out, and it's disgusting. And
Well,
I'm all about
okay.
forgiveness and all that, and everybody deserve, but I'm telling you, there's got to be a special place in hell for them people, Brian. I mean, it's
Okay, I'll give you that one. But how about the people that support that? Again, without a demand, they're not, doing $13 billion in human trafficking. So
yeah.
there's a demand for it. I mean,
And how
what
are they
about the
getting them
people that
out of here,
supporting it?
Brian? Yeah. There's people here that are on board with this, with that within the police and the FBI and CIA. It's
Oh, I
got to
believe
be
that. Yeah.
because how are they getting them out?
I would think it's easier to smuggle, and I could be wrong, but I would think it'd be easier to smuggle drugs than it is a human.
Yeah, it
You
has to
know,
be.
it would have to be. I mean, because you
Yeah,
don't even have to feed the drugs. I mean, you still have to feed the human. You still have there's things the human needs. So there's things that you have to purchase, especially for a woman. Not so. I would assume that they have women that are with them. They know they'll get like female, whatever shit they need. But there's things that pop out. It's like, what are they doing? I mean, there's got to be keys by now that they've seen with human trafficking that tips them off and says, "Hey, look, this girl right here is probably getting trafficked."
right.
You just can't make me believe that you don't have that. And the I always go back to the demand because it's fucked up. You couldn't sell these women if there wasn't some sick fucks out there. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah. I mean, it's yeah, because and children, Brian, it
yeah, I
ain't
don't even want
they
there.
ain't
I ain't even going there. But yeah, I mean,
they ain't
I'm not gonna say we
they
can't
ain't
go there,
donating
Jim. But
kids for you to have kids in your house because you can't have kids. It's for nasty, disgusting another place in hell that these people
the,
deserve stuff,
well,
and no telling where it goes. Like I, I don't know, just like that the file. Everybody wants to see the names.
for Epstein.
Yeah,
That's what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, and that's what we're getting at. So back to the money thing. How, okay, say me and you went over to Europe or Japan or Mexico or any other country, right? And we're running a business. And we started shipping money back to the US to Holly and Jenny. Okay. And how's that tracked?
I'm sure they monitoring exactly what you taking out of their country. I would assume.
But what does our country do though? Now we're putting it into our country, right? We're sending it home. Then we start buying stuff in our country and our economy. You see what I'm saying? Somebody else's economy is supporting our economy now.
Yeah,
Or
and that's how they try to make you feel better in the articles that had the reports that I read. The opposite
right.
way though, because you're sending money to Guatemala or whatever, and that money for Guatemala might be their, what gets them out of poverty or whatnot. And my whole point is just make Guatemala better. I'm nothing against Guatemala, but I care about the United States. And if you working here in
But
the United States, keep your money
but
here.
most of them countries, the money's going back to are corrupt countries. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't think because a lot of the illegal immigrants, and you can get done here where I live. People pay you under the table for stuff. Like if my buddy ran a gutter business, right? His own little gutter business and said, "Hey, I need some help this weekend. Can you help me?" Yeah. What are you paying? I'll pay you $10 an hour, tax free. I'll pay you cash. There's little stores that'll pay young people cash just so they don't have to do the paperwork. So if you have a bunch of immigrants out there working in your tobacco fields, you're on your farm doing this and doing that, a lot of them are getting paid under the table.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly. I mean, you'd really probably have to dig into it and find out how they're getting the money back. They might be muling it over there, right? Cash and
Oh, there's
taking
no
it
telling
straight
how
over.
much gas is just leaving the economy. Yeah, you could look into that probably too. But yeah, I'm
I
sure
mean,
there's a
yeah,
lot
we
of
could go down a rabbit hole with this one because I mean, we can just keep going because how is it tracked? And how does our country even put their finger on it and stop it? Because I'm sorry, I don't want to get to the next thing that I don't know if you have in your mind where there just isn't any currency anymore and you're chipped.
Yeah, I think they want to go there anyway. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they
well, I
want to
ain't
just
taking it.
ship
I'm
us.
not taking
Yeah,
it. Yep, I'm not taking
is
it.
it
So
is that the fuse?
it is with me because I believe that that's biblical and that's the mark of the beast.
Well,
That's what I'm
I mean,
thinking.
there's a
If you
hill
want
that
to survive, you'll have to take it.
well, everyone has a hill that they'll die on, and I mean, is that the hill that you'll die on? I
Yeah,
believe that
I'm not doing that.
things are,
I'll go hunt and
people,
fish and yeah,
good people start pushing back when they get uncomfortable and they're just tired or dealing with what someone's trying to push on 'em. But right
right,
now, I mean, good people just aren't going to push back. There's no reason we're just too comfortable. But
right.
if they start to force you to chip yourself, is that
Yeah.
diffuse? I don't know. And so
Well,
I just think we had a whole tipping point anyway. When we have people online that just hate people just to hate them. It's
yeah,
like they don't know them. They hear them say something and they hate them. I mean, why? What?
right.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone that I truly hate. Honestly, I don't know if there's anyone. I mean, there's people that I don't want to talk to, and there's people that I just turn and walk away from. But I don't hate anyone, and these people just hate. So I mean, when did we get to this point to where we just hate people for something they say or the way they look? I mean, hate is a harsh word, and these
It
people, I
is.
mean, people hate. I just don't understand. I mean, we were always taught that you don't hate anyone. I mean, when you were
That's
brought
right.
up, if you said you hated someone in your family, well, you do not hate that person. You do not hate
Yeah,
anyone. When
yeah.
did we start allowing hate to be, popular or the trend? I mean, that it's just weird.
And you want to say it's the younger generation, Brian, but if you look, it's people our age are doing it now too on social media. I mean, when you're
Oh yeah, no
celebrating the
doubt.
loss of somebody's life, no matter
Yeah.
what their belief is, I don't believe in anybody, these purple haired, blue haired, pink haired that think they're cats and dogs pooping in a litter box. If somebody came up and unalived them, then that's wrong. I don't agree with that. I don't be like, well, they got what they deserve. I don't know. That person may have had some mental issues in my mind, but they don't deserve to be unalived. I'm trying to say the
No.
words so we don't get
Yeah, man.
banned
I
off
ain't
of
worried about
something,
that.
but
We
yeah,
ain't on nothing,
whatever.
so.
Yeah. But We ain't live, so if y'all don't like what we got to say, then we'll just find somewhere that does. We'll make our own dang social media. But anyways, no, at no time have I ever celebrated the loss of life. Life is
No.
precious.
Yeah, I mean, I would celebrate it. Now, I can honestly say, I mean, if somebody done something to someone I really love, would it bother me to watch them die? No. Would I celebrate it?
And
No. You know,
when the
it's not a
human Roomba,
celebration.
yeah, when the human Roomba got elected last time,
I forget, yeah, Biden.
I didn't go and throw a fit and be like, "Are you freaking kidding? I'm just, I hate them people." I just like, okay, I'll go to work and do the best I can.
But
I
I'm
mean, I
starting to
hope
see it from both sides now, though.
it is
It's
because you
not just
got
one
your,
side.
yeah. Well, now you got these dudes saying, y'all want to bring that stuff to where we are in the South. Y'all just bring it because we got gun. Stop saying that stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Why are we
We don't
talking about killing other Americans?
no that's no, I mean American people need to pull together. I mean, we have
Yeah,
people in this country that don't belong here, and we need to understand that. We're American. All Americans
dude.
need to pull together.
And we already said the mentality of some of this stuff, like back to the New York stuff. And I'm not going back there hard just for a second, because people are getting trained. Their minds are being trained to be taken care of. It's working. That's what these socialists want, is to get you dependent on the government so they can control you. And that's why these people are spewing, in my mind, they're spewing hate towards the other side because you should be taking care of me. I don't
Yeah.
want to work. I want to sit at home. The government should, they think that there's classes of people, people that work and people that don't. And I choose to be in the one that don't work. And the people that want to work, guess what? You can take care of me. Kind of like
But
your
yeah,
kid. Like my
but
daughter said that once.
we did create that society, though. I mean, the welfare
Yeah,
system
we,
did create that. I mean, well, I was just hearing the other day someone complaining about, them not getting their checks or whatever in 36 years. How the hell are you on welfare for 36 years?
yeah.
You know, 36 years. Now, no, at some point, you had to go get a job, I would assume, but no, they did. So
Yeah. Well, that's, I
we
mean,
created
we
that.
we just got to start. Yeah, we got to start getting these videos and putting them up of where people are saying, like this one dude said that they're going to require me to work 20 hours a week in order to get my benefits. I ain't working for nobody, no time. Seriously, you can't work 20 hours a week and still get free benefits.
Well,
I work 40 plus, so do you, and we don't get free stuff. We have to fight and claw for the crap we got. And
yeah, I agree,
and
and I'm not going to argue
and
that. But this is a system we created.
yeah, and I don't see it going. I don't see the division where I'm at.
I don't either.
And I think social media blows it up a lot more than what it is. And I think that it's like they're backing people into a corner. And what happens when you get backed into a corner, Brian?
The only thing you can do is come out fighting.
That's
That's
right.
why
And
most
that's
men
what
will come out fighting.
hey, these people they're already triggered up because the media's putting all this crap out there. They're lying to people. The government just don't want us getting along, because if everybody came together, and I think that was the whole point of TikTok, was doing that. And I think that's why the government was wanting to shut it down. You
So
agree?
you think TikTok was helping people come together?
Yeah, because it wasn't the media pushing their crap. Now there's clips of CNN and MSNBC, Fox News. I'll throw them in there too, because they all do their own narrative. There ain't
Yeah.
nobody out there really just spitting it straight. I mean,
Well,
my word is my opinion. Your word is
well,
your
that's
opinion.
and that we all have a right to our own opinions, and I wholeheartedly
That's
agree
right.
with that. But the problem I have now is, I mean, we don't even know what's real anymore. I mean,
No.
what are we being deceived? I mean, is it foreign influence? I mean, like you just said, I see my neighbors getting along. And when I go to the store, I mean, there's all kind of different races at a store. You don't see nobody yelling at each other. You know, everybody's very cordial. But we keep
Right.
getting told we're split 50-50. I
Right.
mean, so what is true? I mean, are we just 50-50 in certain places, or we 50-50 through this whole country? I mean, what is true? I mean, what is real? I mean, I don't think
Well,
anyone I I don't know,
we
especially with
get
AI.
irritated at these blue states. I know, like New York and California, I don't want to live there. Like up north, Connecticut, and sorry people if anybody from there watches it. I'm sorry. I had uh Brad from the Marines, he was from New York, but Rochester, it wasn't the city, it was the country, out in the boonies. I mean, I know every state has its redneck areas and backwoods people and all that stuff that are good common sense people. And then to me, you got your big cities. Maybe it's the smog or I don't know what it is that gets in people's heads. And I just don't understand the thinking on that stuff. But if we got to come, like I tell my guys at work that don't get along, find common ground because you got to figure it out at work. You got to figure out how to get along at work to get a job done. You don't have to hang out outside of that, but I need you to come together and work together at work to get this done. So find
Yeah,
common ground.
start
And
by
I think we
talking.
all could.
Yeah, I mean, we all could do a little bit better, you know. I mean, just reaching out and talk. I mean, grocery store lines. Let's take that for
Yes.
example. It used to be you got in a grocery store line and you would talk to whoever's in the front or back. You talk to the cashier. Now you see somebody
Yeah.
in a grocery store line. Anytime somebody has any idle time, and even in the grocery store line, they're playing on their damn phone. Or they're
Yep.
talking on their phone. It's like they just
Or
can't
got their earbuds
understand.
in, they're listening to shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't communicate. We don't know how to communicate as a
No.
society anymore, and that
No.
keeps us separated. I don't think that we hate each other, but I mean, I don't think we meeting each other on a human level, you know. And let's talk about Yuri Bezmenov. I mean, because
Okay.
this could all be going where he had said
He
back in
said,
the 80s.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, because so Yuri Bezmenov warned decades ago about ideological subversion, which is splitting the
Right.
country from within. You know, he even said once that criminals and professors, you know, that have served their purpose in the communist movement will be discarded. You know,
Yep.
whenever all this is over. Let's listen to what he had to say.
The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. Exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it until he is going to receive a kick in his fat bottom. When a military boot crashes his balls, then he will understand, but not before that. That's the tragic of the situation of demoralization.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched Yuri Bezmenov, you need to watch him. I mean, it's a good listen. Uh, there's a lot of things he says in there that you can see that came to fruition. If our government knew this was happening to us and didn't try to stop it, I mean, it's pretty
Then they're
awful.
part of the
But
problem.
yeah, and that's the sad part. You know, it's like, did they create this subversion? You know, is this actual ploy? I mean, is this whole thing that we're doing just one big mind fuck? You know, just to
Yeah.
get us all to hate each other? Or let's look at it this way. I mean, with Trump winning in 2016,
Right.
did he wake up so many people in this country to where they started seeing the bullshit that they had
I think
to
so.
where both parties, I mean, we was talking about, you know, people in the lower class and upper class and how the Republican Party is, well, I ain't gonna say the Republican Party, the MAGA movement is supported by a lot of middle class, you know, and even now lower class people, you know, which the Democratic Party would have once held. All these people woke up and came together and voted for Trump. And now they have to bring in illegals to have voters. I mean, is that why they opened the borders in 2021? You know, because
That's
everybody
what,
woke up.
yes. I mean, just look at it. I mean, that dude is so straight. You can sit there and show them proof. Brian, we're so blind to everything, and it's right in front of our face.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
to the fact that we're sitting here talking about New York, Brian, when is it going to hit Kentucky and Louisiana?
well, it hits portions of it, I'm sure. I mean, New Orleans is not great, Baton Rouge is so, but they
I'm
vote, Democrat all the time.
I'm going to call this out, and I don't care if it would have been Bevan or Blevins or whatever that was the governor before Andy. UPS plane crashes in Louisville the other day, right? I think last I read there was 12 people dead so far, and they're still looking, right? Because it hit some businesses, and they were trying to account for their employees, but you don't know of patrons that were there, right? Customers that so now they're waiting for families that may have had somebody going over to one of those businesses for something or whatever. He takes that spotlight of being up there on stage, on the news, talking about the plane wreck to bring up the SNAP benefit and how Trump and the Republicans are putting a lot of hurt on Kentucky. And this is another thing that we're dealing with is a plane crash. And it's like, Andy, this ain't the time to bring up what's going on in Washington. You should only be talking about the UPS plane wreck and what y'all are doing and where we're at with it and what we can do better to not have something like that happen. Not bringing up the government shutdown and the SNAP benefits that a lot of Kentuckians are hurting from.
How do
And
politicians say that? Never waste a tragic moment or never waste something shit like that.
it's right there, dude. It's right in front of our eyes of
Yeah.
how devout these people are. It'd be like, Brian, you getting up at my funeral, bringing up your agenda.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like Holly asked you to come do my eulogy and you bring up your agenda at my
Yeah. And
funeral.
I,
That's
I
not the
tell them
place for it.
everything I've done. Let me tell you how great I
Yeah.
am. Jason was
Yes.
a good guy, but let me tell you how great I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah. And let me tell you what Jason didn't do when I was around. I mean, I had to carry him and blah.
But I mean, how do we get here? So I understand what Yuri's saying, right? And I believe a lot of that has happened.
Years.
Yeah,
Years.
and I mean, there's
Years.
generations that just been snowballed with this. So I believe that.
Right.
But I mean, so how do we get here? How do we get here? Okay, so we can say school, and they put all this stuff in school. I get that. That's the easy way out.
Right.
But it's still our responsibility. So each generation thinks they are better parents than the generation before them.
Mm-hmm.
Always, that they're going to do
Mm-hmm.
something better. And I mean, so you get whooped, and you might not want to whoop your kids as much. So you're going to do it better than your parents did. And we keep doing
Yep.
this, and we keep saying how good we are and how much better we are than our parents. Well, we might not say we're better than our parents, but we're going to raise our kids in a better way. But
Right.
society's constantly getting worse. So how do those two things not coincide? If we're better at raising the kids than we were 50 years ago, then why
Are
is
we better?
crime? Yeah, I mean, are we really better? I mean, how are we measuring that? I mean, we're not even reporting crime statistics correctly anymore because there's so much crime. But yet we're raising our kids better today. I don't
Well,
understand how is it not our fault?
it is our fault, but
But
it's like I was telling you that once again, it all goes back to social media and all that stuff because like our kids have access to Google and other people. And okay, so you grew up with your kids and same with mine. And when they did something, we got onto them pretty sternly, right? And we busted that butt, put them in the corner, however, whatever.
now,
And that's how we
I,
handled
I,
our business.
that's how I handle it. That's not how the family handled it. That's why I
That's
was
not,
frowned
yeah,
upon.
yeah, you were frowned upon doing that. I was too, because of PTSD or something from your spouse with their parents, or maybe their parents didn't do that. And we just let them, like, okay, I don't really care because she done cut off one of my cousins, but one of my cousins up in another northern West state, they do like gentle parenting to the extreme. Like they don't tell their kids no.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
came
fuck
down
that.
and visited. Yeah, they came down and visited at my grandma's house, and this was a while back because she died in 2016. But they brought their kids. Now their kids are older now. I don't know how old they are, and I really don't. I'm sorry because that you're ruining your child by not teaching them boundaries and all, because you got boundaries at work, you got rules at work, you got rules in society. And if your kids don't learn that there's consequences for not following the rules, you're playing with fire there. It's a very big chance that your kid's going to do something and end up in a lot of trouble, either fired from
No,
work or or in jail or whatever. But what I'm getting at, Brian, is I don't they didn't just get that. They didn't just come up with it on their out of their brain. They're reading stuff just like these kids are Google parents now.
but this been going on a lot longer than just now with Google. I mean, this has progressively gotten worse through the years. Now, I'm not going to say it didn't escalate, you know,
Well, I
but
think we all try to trim the fat off of what our parents did, right? Did you not modify some that your parents
well,
did?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I think that my parents, looking back, did a better job than what I did raising my kids, based on the
Yes.
fact that the respect that I have, and how I try to stay humble because I know what it takes,
Right.
to get to a higher level. I know what it's like to struggle,
Right.
and I find you learn the most in the pain. You don't learn a
Yes.
whole lot when it's easy. So I think
No.
they done a better job at that. But my kids, I believe, had a better childhood, should I say, because they got to have the childhood that we couldn't have. We didn't have a lot, but we
Yeah.
we enjoyed ourselves, but we didn't go on vacations and all the time. My kids had that, and I thought that was better for them. And it might have been,
Yes.
because it
Right.
was fun, but
Right.
I don't know if we're building a better society by doing that.
No, because see, you're trying to right all your wrongs through your
Yep.
kids.
And I think most people do.
And when it's like when you keep trimming stuff off that steak, Brian, you got this big, thick old 2-inch New York strip, whatever, T-bone, whatever your preferred ribeye, right? And it's got some fat on it. And everybody starts trimming, like every generation starts trimming. When you get done with it, there ain't nothing there. You see what I'm getting at? Because we keep trying to right our wrongs through somebody else. Just understand your parents made mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. You got to do the best you can with your kids and hope it hits, and stop letting society tell you how to raise your children. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, you should know how you want your kids to act in society. If your kid
right,
is acting up everywhere, and I was a bad child, but if your kid's acting up everywhere, you don't want your kid acting like that in society. You correct them.
right,
That you have to correct them. You just can't sit there and let them have their opinion. They do not have an opinion. That there is no opinion except for the opinion you give them.
right,
And I don't get that. And
right.
we've got to that area to where, just let them cool down. And no, you're gonna do what the hell I want you to do, within limits. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean,
Yes,
everything's within limits, and that's the problem with the society. Everybody wants to take shit to the extreme. Well, we can what if this shit to death, you know? You just have to be logical. You got to keep it within limits. And yes, sometimes it will look extreme. I mean, I
well,
remember walking through damn grocery stores and somebody getting hit with a fly swatter or getting kicked, going, other parents would hit you,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. They'd block the cameras for your parents to beat your butt. Like if the store had cameras, they'd block them for them. Go ahead. I mean, hey, me and the wife were in California, and it was the first time I seen the timeout kids, right? So we went to it. We were walking, and we went to an ATM machine, and there was a woman there with her daughter, and her daughter couldn't have been like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there, not that old. And her daughter was sitting there staring like this at the screen, and her mom was sitting there with her finger by the numbers, and she wouldn't do nothing. And the daughter was yelling at her, "Put your number in so I can see it." And she goes, "Why?" "So when you go to bed, I can take your card and go." She was telling her mom what she was going to do. "I'm going to steal
Wow.
money from you." And I looked at Holly and she looked at me and I said, "Ma'am, we will turn our backs if you want to knock that kid out." And that woman looked at us with disgust.
Really?
Like we were the bad people, Brian. I mean, dang, woman. And that's the first time I seen that a kid talk to their parent like that. I'd never seen it.
See
And then
that right there.
I get home and it's like I brought it home with me. Not me doing it, but I brought like it started happening real quick in Kentucky where I'd never seen it before.
Oh yeah.
And Brian, I'm going to tell you right now, there's not a whole, I always say where I'm at is from what I've been through, right? And I don't want to go back and change stuff because I've been through a lot of stuff and it's made me who I am. That's one thing I would go back and change. That before I got married to my wife, we would sit down and come to an agreement of how we were going to raise our kids because we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, I agree with
We
that.
were just young, dumb, and full of you know what, and got married. And we didn't talk about money. We didn't talk about children, like how we were going to do all that. We just like, we'll have them. We'll just do it. And I took it. She would do the same thing I would. I didn't realize people did their children any different.
I didn't either. I honestly didn't either. I felt that, my life was going to be just like my parents' life. I didn't,
Right.
I thought everybody's family was the same. I had no
My mom and
idea. I
dad
mean,
used to be a tag team partner, dude. They used to
well,
tag
even
team me.
my other friends, I mean, you'd see how their parents were, but I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it was just,
Community ass whoopings.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was naive, maybe still naive, in some things. But what you're saying with that kid, I wonder if that's why all these kids have anxiety is because, man, anxiety medications are through the roof for kids and they're living
Oh,
in some of the easiest times, they don't have to do anything. And I think that's the problem is maybe they have it so good at home that anytime they're away from home, they just can't handle life because shit, that's reality.
right,
And reality still ain't that bad, but you got to put them
right,
on all these anxiety pills because they do not know what ordinary life is.
right.
You know, it's weird,
My
when
daughter
you
was
start
on it in
thinking of
high
it that way.
school. She still is.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Good
it's
kid,
about
great kid, but it just, I wasn't. And I don't know, Brian. I don't know if I should have been on it or not. I got on it when I got it to be an adult. And then doctor did some tests, found out. And I will support this on the channel, L-methylfolate. I'll get a bottle next time we're on. That stuff would work miracles for me. You get it over the counter. I don't have to take some medicine that makes me feel like I don't give a crap. Because the crap I was on before, I'd be in the bed, Brian, all the time. My house could catch on fire and I'd have been like, I don't care. It makes you like you don't care. That's not, I'd rather have anxiety than not feel like I care. But
yeah, you got to feel something.
I tell these new parents, anytime I see a young parent at a store and they're flipping out with their kids or acting, I'm like, listen, two things. Cherish that. Cherish that kid while they're that
Yep,
age because they grow up quick. The second
quick.
thing is you two need to get on the same sheet of music. That's the biggest advice I can give you two for your marriage is get on the same sheet of music.
Well,
Well, and then
I'm
my
glad.
biggest advice, you know where I'm gonna go with that one is God needs to be the center of your marriage. But the husband and wife need to be on the same sheet of music for disciplining the kids and finance. That thing right there, and stop this, like you said, stop letting the kid decide what they want to do. Their little brains ain't designed for that. You don't
See,
bring a
see,
new hire into your business and let them decide what they're going to do, Brian. You put them with what you call the parent, the mentor, right? And you're like, hey, Jim, go train Bob. You know what you're doing. He don't. Go train him. Whatever.
no, no,
I'm sorry. That one fires me
no,
up.
no, I agree. I mean, kids don't. Like I said earlier, their only opinion should be the one you give them. But I mean, you
Yeah.
went to one point where you're saying the same sheet of music with the the parents, and I agree with
Yes.
that, and that brings us back to what we was talking about most of the night was it all starts at home. We talk
Yes.
about the country, we talk about
Yep.
society, we talk about Yuri, but none of that really gets messed up unless you don't, it starts at home, unless you don't keep it down at home. If you starting to let your family you not understand that this is how we're going to live as a family. This is what you represent. This is how we go through society. This is what it takes to be a man. This is what it takes to be a woman. All that starts at home. We can't rely on the education system to teach our kids the morality that it takes to survive and work together as a team throughout the United States, right?
Right.
And
Right.
but we got to a point to where we pointing at politicians. They didn't pass
Hmm.
this, they didn't do that. What are we doing? We have to step back and start taking responsibility for the things that's happening in this country, or we're not going to be able to take it back. And
Right.
and part of that, comes back to the illegal immigration, and we're already separated by 50, according to what you read, 50-50. All right. So they say 50-50, we separated on politics. And then you bring
Right.
in illegals, where we go back with Mondami. I don't know if he's illegal or not, but you got illegals that are supporting him that have a
Right.
total different way of thinking than the Americans already have. So they're
Yes.
not even trying to be Americans. They're living in
Right.
America, trying to take the value from America, but not
Right.
assimilate to America. And that's a
Right.
problem. And this preacher, I mean, really brought this to light. I want to share this real quick. This is from X3 Techno. I've seen it on TikTok. Let's see what this preacher got to say.
This brother is absolutely right. He nails it.
There's a reason why American citizens should pledge our allegiance to the flag that represents our nation. One nation under God. You know why the borders should not be open? I ain't running for nothing. I ain't looking for nobody votes. I'm not in anybody's party. I don't need it. I'm free. I work for Jesus.
Amen.
The reason the borders need to be closed is because when you come into a sovereign nation and you don't pledge your allegiance, it's treasonous. When borders are open for anybody just to walk in and they are not required to pledge their allegiance and to give a commitment to one nation. So the first problem when they don't pledge their allegiance and they come across the border, they bring their own nation with them. So instead of America being one nation, we become 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 different nations. And you're sowing division and discord into this nation because the people have never made a pledge to understand that even though we come from every nation, when we're here, we're one nation.
When you're right, you're right. And that just made sense.
I mean, I think he hit the nail on the head right there.
Yeah. I mean, bring your food, but leave your ideology, right?
Yeah. I mean, they all have a purpose,
Yep.
and you if you come here and you want to support yourself, and even if you're illegal, and I don't support being illegal, but even if you come here illegal and that's the only way to get out of your country, and you assimilate into this country, you bind into what this country was built on, that's one thing. If you're coming
Right.
over here and you're having Sharia law, that's a whole other thing. You know what I'm saying? You have to come here and accept that we're Americans. This is the way we do things. This is our culture. You
Yes.
need to assimilate to us. It's not asking you to bow down. It's asking you to become part of this experiment. I
We
mean,
want you part of our family. Yes.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
going to be part of the U.S. experiment. And
Yeah.
what people I don't think enough people understand is the United States only stays together, and this experiment only works if good people stay good. If good people do not stay good, and the police and have to watch everyone, so no one's
Right.
courteous anymore. Everyone acts selfishly. Chaos is going to just come to your communities.
Yep.
And there's no law no amount of police officers that could stop that. The
Right.
only thing that keeps us as a society are our morals. If that gets out of control, then it would take a dictatorship to bring it all back in, because you would have to go in with the military and bring the people. We can't get to that point. We
No.
just can't.
No, but back to coming over like he was talking about, he hit the nail on the head. If we went to another country and went to their country, like go to China or go to Iran, Iraq, go to any of these countries and try to act like a full-fledged, do your thing other than, and go against what they do.
Yeah.
And see how that lands. I'm just being honest. See how that lands you. We're the land of the free and the home of the brave. I don't know. I wish they get rid of that free stuff, because here's the deal. However you want to lay this out, because we can go deep on that too. When the Pilgrims fled Europe and came over here, okay, there was Indians over here, indigenous people and all that stuff. I understand. And what happened to them was, I don't approve of, but it is what it is. We
It's
came over
history.
here, we colonized. It is. We colonized, we started our own thing. The reason why, because we didn't like what was going on in the country we were at. Okay, so here's the cap. You're fleeing your country. Why are you fleeing your country? Is Sharia law, if Muslims and Islamic and all this is all that and this in a handbook, you know why? Gosh dang it, I wish I would have kept that video, because they had a Muslim on there straight up saying, I'm trying to convert everybody. That's why I'm
Well,
coming to your country.
that's
That's
because the
what he's,
Muslim religion believes that they have the best religion, and in their
yes.
religion is to convert
They're
everyone
not coming over
into
here for a
Muslims.
better life, Brian.
No, they're coming over to take over.
Yes.
I get that. Yeah.
So there's,
it's a better
okay,
life
so
for them, but not for us.
no, but they're straight saying, we're not going to get bigger if I stay in my own area. I have to go to another area that doesn't do what we do and convert them. I don't want converted.
Well,
Leave me alone.
It's an invasion, but not an invasion.
Yes, it is. It's not illegal immigration. It's an invasion.
It is.
Them starving people that spent 7 days on a damn raft that was like on what was that Tom Hanks movie?
Castaway.
Castaway. 7 days on a raft trying to get over here. They're wanting a better life, Brian, and I don't have a problem. In my heart, I don't have a problem with it, with them doing that. Please do it legally. Please go somewhere and get a green card and all that, and get it set up and work towards getting your citizenship. Please do that, so you're on the books, so you're contributing too. If you're going to come over here and take a job, then you need to contribute to our tax system and all that, and we'll help you out the best we can. But if you're coming over here to convert, that's an invasion. Agree?
Yeah, it's an invasion. I mean, if you're not coming over to assimilate, it's an invasion when you think of it in the simplest form. You know, if you come into this country and you have no intentions of joining what this country has built, and you just going to do your own thing, that's an invasion. You know? I mean, I couldn't go to your company and just do what I wanted, right?
Yeah, let me go over where the Patels are from and start a gas station. B&J's gas station, right? The rednecks over there in in India or whatever, right? They're not going to allow us to do that, Brian. BJ. You're not coming over here for a better life, because if you were coming over here for a better life, you wouldn't have any money. How you got the money to buy these gas stations? You straight come make these people offers they can't refuse.
Well,
they
that's
bought
the
up
thing.
every.
You know, I mean, when they originally come over, like you was talking about, and I'm not talking about pilgrims, but years later, I mean, they were still coming over to build this country. They were building a country.
Yes.
I mean, now we're a welfare state. I mean, we just can't give everybody. You know, I mean, we can't do it. I mean, you're gonna break. at some point you're gonna break. We can't keep printing money. We can't keep acting like we can just give everybody what they need. We need to step back and analyze everything and say, hey, look, let's pump the brakes on this shit. We want to be nice, but we can't be right now. We got to get our shit in order, and then we can work out the rest. Or these people got to go for right now. We'll figure it out later. All right. Well, it's been a little longer than I thought it was going to be. So so what do you think? Are we on the path to Gotham? Should we demand accountability for tax spending? And can the society survive without shared ethics? I don't know about that one. I don't know if we'll survive without shared ethics. I think we need to get that, under control. Share your thoughts, subscribe, leave a review, and join the conversation. We appreciate anyone listening.
This is the Sense and Senseless podcast.
Dude's like yelling at us.